Sip Blico, Sip Rumataji, Sip Bliss, Sip Meera, Mir Chandani, long time. Welcome back. Sip Samatma, Sip Ashok Nichani, Sip Kumar Swami, Sip Atmatray, Sip Gautam, Sip Sudeep, Sip Rekha Parvani, Sip Girish, Sip Eru, Sip Roop. Welcome. When I see you, I feel you're there on the call, but if I don't see you, then I'm not sure who is there on the call and who is not. And we have this keeping into the call, as I call it, after the call starts. And there are many people who keep coming to the call, especially in the first 1 or 2 minutes. Today we have an interesting session. Very, very, I would call a pivotal session for those who want enlightenment. If you want enlightenment, this session, mind versus consciousness. What is the difference between mind and consciousness? How does one deal with the mind, deal with consciousness? Why should we talk about the mind and consciousness? What is the difference between mind and consciousness? What will create enlightenment and what will not? So these are the several topics that we will cover today in this session on mind versus consciousness. Let us start. So I hope audio video is good, Sudeep. Sudeep Bhargava. Okay. Thank you, Pankaj. Pankaj is giving me a sign today. I'm here looking at Pankaj. So here you are, the session. What is the mind? What is the mind? We all say, my mind is wandering. Is your mind wandering? Bliss, is your mind wandering? Where is your mind? Where it's wandering? But where? Where is the mind? You think the mind is in the head, but the thought comes even from the toe. If your toe gets into hot water, you say, ouch, ouch, because the senses on the toe, just the toe, it can be very sensitive, the toes. So the senses can come from anywhere. And the mind is not just in the head. In our journey of enlightenment, we have to understand what is this mind? What is consciousness? We know the mind thinks. We believe the mind is like a thought factory. It's like a popcorn machine. It goes on popping thoughts. Pop, 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 pop. It goes on popping thoughts. But what is the mind? Is it just a thought-producing factory? How many thoughts does it produce? How does it produce thoughts? What is the raw material? So the mind itself, today in the world, there are so many mind doctors. You may not like the idea, but people call them mental doctors. They're psychiatrists, psychologists, and the whole branch of medicine called under the banner psychology is huge. And psychiatry, more psychiatry, because psychology is more to do with the study of the mind, but psychiatry is more to do with the medicine of the mind. So my dear friends, the mind has established itself. Although there is the mind you cannot find. I always tell you all that story that when you try to find the mind, where is the mind, you cannot find. The mind in reality does not exist. When there are thoughts, the mind appears. When there is no thought, there is no mind. So therefore, it is very important in today's session that if you have any doubt about the mind, if you have any misconception about what is this mind, some of you may think, "Kya session is not ordinary hai, mind and consciousness." Oh, this one session can decide your enlightenment. This one session can decide whether you will be enlightened or not. In the song I said, "Man ko kabhi तूने ढूंढा, मन ये कहाँ है, मन तो माया है, कभी ना मिलता है, विचारों का गुच्छा मन जो है ये, संसार में हमको मन है डुबाता." मन है डुबाता मन के ख्यालों में जो भी डूबा संसार की माया में वो फंसा है दुखी होता है. You don't realize that all your problems come from the mind. All. ALL. All your problems come from one source, the mind. Even the problems of your ego, the problems of your body. Sometimes you have a lot of pain and you're thinking you have a lot of pain. You know what a doctor does? A doctor gives you a painkiller, which is nothing but a tranquilizer, puts you to sleep. It switches off the pain station in the brain. Be conscious about it. We are getting onto consciousness. What is consciousness? Consciousness is that state of thoughtlessness. It is a state where there is no mind. And you laugh. You say, ये कैसा है? कैसा होता है? No mind. Mindlessness. Thoughtlessness. The Buddhists, they confuse. They call it mindfulness. So people come and tell me, how can the mind is full? How can the mind be no thought? Full. Mindfulness means mind is full. No. You become mindful means you become mindless. It becomes thoughtless. When we are in consciousness, we become the witness, the observer. There's complete stillness. So, dear friends, it is very important now to get to this understanding of consciousness. One day they say the Buddha, after he was sitting under the Bodhi tree, when he woke up and he had an aura around him. But man saw him passing by and he said, wow. The man stopped and asked Buddha, Sir, are you God? Buddha said, no. Then that man asked him, are you a magician? Are you a wizard? There's such a glow on you. Buddha said, no. And the man asked, then what are you then? The Buddha said, I am awake. It's a very famous story of Buddha, where Buddha says, I am awake. My dear friends, when we are in consciousness, we are awake. When we are in mind, we are sleeping. Because the mind, it is just like that man. That man was riding a horse. Somebody came and told him, hello, sir, where are you going? And the man said, I don't know. Ask the horse. Man said, I don't know. Ask the horse. Sometimes the mind is the boss. Sometimes the mind is the boss. Therefore, you have to ask the horse because you don't know where you are going. My dear friends, you need to reach that state of consciousness. The state of consciousness, because either there are mind and thoughts. State 1, mind plus thoughts. State 2, no mind, no thoughts, consciousness. Both can't exist at the same time. So mind versus consciousness. Sometimes I do something so stupid, and what I tell myself? I tell myself, stop it, stupid. Stop it, stupid. We finished that book. Remember we talked about that book? Oh, I often tell myself, I look at the mirror and tell myself, stop it, stupid. Who's stupid? My mind. The same thing I repeat again and again till such time that I'm in consciousness. The moment I'm in consciousness, there's no stupidity. The stupidity comes to an end because I am in a state of consciousness. My dear friends, you need to be in that state of consciousness. And the state of consciousness, if you want to be in the state of consciousness, you have to be thoughtless. Somebody asked me, how can I be thoughtless? How can I be thoughtless? I told them, just stop thinking. They said it's impossible. How to stop thinking? I asked them the question, suppose I'm drinking coffee. I'm sure you drink coffee, right? Suppose you're drinking coffee. You want to stop coffee. Can you stop? Stop drinking coffee. Suppose you're eating toffee. Suppose you want to stop eating toffee. Do you have to eat or you can stop? You can stop eating toffee. You don't have to be somebody toffee and toffee and toffee and toffee and toffee and no, you can stop. You can stop coffee. You can stop because just like that, you can stop thinking. Like suppose I'm talking, I want to stop talking. People don't understand this concept of how to reach that state of thoughtlessness. A state where you are, as a normal person, thinking up to 50 thoughts a minute. 50, this is called MTR, the mental thought rate. And if you want to cut the thoughts, you reduce it to 40 thoughts, 30 thoughts, 20 thoughts, 10 thoughts. You cut the thoughts. How do you cut the thoughts? Either through meditation. You find a way, either through meditation or through other methods. But contemplation, engagement, you find a way where you stop this mind from rattling into so many thoughts. This is possible, but it's an effort. A beautiful story. They asked a person how to reach consciousness. So they told you must reach the state in the Upanishads. It's called Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, and Chaturya. This in English, I don't like to complicate with you. In English, it's called the waker, the dreamer, the sleeper, and the one in consciousness. How? So one day, they asked a man, he was working as a railway station master. So they asked the railway station master, tell us some of the trains that pass by in your station. He said, early morning, I get the City Express. So the City, I flag it. I flag the City Express. In the afternoon, I get Shatabdi. Shatabdi passes my station. In the night, night in India, very famous train is called the mail train. It carries the mail. So in the night, the mail train. So then they asked the station master, so what are you? Are you the express train? Are you the Shatabdi? Or are you the mail train? The station master said, no. I am not Shatabdi. I am not mail. I am not express. What are you? I am the station master. We human beings don't realize we are not the waker. We are not the dreamer. We are not the sleeper. We experience these three states of consciousness. We are Chaturyam. Chaturyam is often referred to as Turyam. Chaturyam means fourth. The word Chaturyam, like in Ganapati, there's a Chatarbhuj. Chatarbhuj means Char Bhujwala. Chaturyam means the fourth state of consciousness. My dear friends, like the station master example should tell us. Sometimes you are awake. No, you are not awake. Your body is awake. You are dreaming and your mind is dreaming. Oh, this lady was dreaming. Oh, I've got 3 children. I need 3 more, at least 6. So when she woke up, then she said, no. I am already dead taking care of 3. If I have 6, then I will become like a sixer in the cricket match. So it was just a dream. It was not real. So we are not the waker. We are not the dreamer. Even Sushupti, that state of deep sleep, when there is no dream, dreamless sleep. My dear friends, none of these 3 states is our. We are the witness of these 3 states. You watch the waker. You watch your body. You watch your mind. You watch when you wake up from a deep sleep. You realize that I was in a state of Sushupti. I was in a state of being unconscious. But when you wake up, you become conscious. This is how to realize consciousness. Somebody told me, give me a simple method how to be in a state of consciousness. I said, tame the monkey. Tame the monkey. Who's the monkey? I said, the mind. The mind is a monkey. Monkey. When the mind is a monkey, it's jumping from thought to thought. You cut EY. How much ever I tell you, you may be thinking, AiR, you told me 25 times. Yeah, but have you made the monkey into the monk? Have you? Even after I tell you 100 times, my monkey still jump. Badang, 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 badang. Into a past that is gone and a future not yet born. The monkey keeps on jumping and it robs the present moment. What is the present moment? The present moment is consciousness. The present moment is the state of bliss. Therefore, many of you like this. When I tell you, you say, I will watch it, I will catch it, and I will latch it. The next moment I ask you, did you catch it and did you latch it? You say, no, I'm sitting on the back of the monkey and I'm jumping with the monkey. Because the monkey mind is making you a donkey. The monkey mind carries you, and we do all ridiculous things. After we look at what the mind has done to us, we look back and we say, what a fool, man. Stupid. Hey, you stupid. We tell ourselves because we fail to cut the tail. Remember, if you fail to cut the tail, the monkey will never be a monk. The tail is EY, ever yelling. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ever yearning. I want this, 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 I want. When I shop, when I see a shirt, I buy 6. If I see a shirt, white color shirt, I buy 6. That means next 6 months, I don't have to shop. So it's very easy. You stop this ever yelling and ever yearning business. You cut your greed, make it stop at your need. Because this problem is the mind will not stop jumping. And when the mind jumps, the bigger problem, the mind is stealing consciousness. We are not so much worried about the mind. Today, I don't want to talk about the mind. I want to talk about consciousness. Chit. How do you reach that state of chit? That is the challenge. I want to reach that state of chit. And how do I reach that state? That is the biggest problem of life, the state of consciousness. When the monkey is a monk, there's no noise. You can listen to the consciousness voice. Somebody asked me a question. How do I know I'm in mind state or consciousness state? Somebody asked me the question. When you lose control, you're in the mind state. When you have no control on your thoughts, when the thoughts are boom, 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 then after you come out, you say, oh, I feel bad. Oh, I did something silly. Oh. Suppose there was a poor man and you were passing by and you were eating a sandwich and you had an extra sandwich and the poor man told you, sir, 4 दिन से खाना नहीं खाया, sir. And you say, oh, you're a beggar, get out. And you eat your sandwich and you walk. Then after a few steps, you say, I have an extra sandwich. That man said 4 days he has not eaten. I should have given him that sandwich. Now you turn, but the man is gone. And then you regret. Your mind did not permit you. You could have just given that sandwich. Forget about all these things. He's a beggar, he's a thief. You don't want to give money. You don't want to give money to beggars. But nobody told don't give a sandwich to a hungry man. Because while we should not give money to beggars, it may be a bad trade. We should never stop from helping a person. Sometime when one beggar asked me the question, sir, ek 10 rupees do, sir, khana khana hai. 10 rupees, khana khana hai. My mind said no. My consciousness said help. I stopped at the shop next door. I said, kitna? Paratha or sabzi kitna? He said, 40 rupees. 40 rupees. I said, take 40 rupees and give him food. I didn't give 10 rupees cash. But I bought him a 40 rupees plate of paratha and sabzi. Because my mind was overtaken by my consciousness. My consciousness said no. I heard the divine voice because I cut the noise. You know, when you don't cut the noise, then you have problem. The mind creates fear, worry, stress, anxiety. I love the story of one monk, Chota, junior monk. He went with the senior monk for a walk. And suddenly they heard a lady's voice, bliss. That lady said, bachao, bachao, means save me, save me, save me. So they both monks ran to the river. The senior monk, he saw the lady drowning. He jumped in the river. He picked her up and brought her out. And he told her, you are lucky we were here. You are lucky. This lady thought the river was shallow. She went to have a shower. And when she went, she didn't know swimming. So when she went in the river, she slipped inside. And it was deep. And she didn't know swimming. And she started drowning. So the monk picked her up. And then after, she was soaking wet. So he shook her and left her on the ground. Then the junior monk, as they were walking back to the ashram, the junior monk told, Master, today I lost respect for you. Today I lost respect. The master said, why, what happened? He said, today you jumped in the river and you hugged a woman. And that woman was wearing such a thin sari, hardly any clothes. And you were clinging onto her body. The senior monk told, I left that woman hours ago. You are still carrying the woman. I left the woman hours ago. Hours ago, I left the woman there at the river. But you are still carrying the woman in your head. See, this is consciousness. The monk had no bad intention. The monk just saved the woman, left her on the river bank and moved on. The junior monk had a bad mind. That's why he had not yet been enlightened. So he was still thinking of this. My dear friends, how do we remain in that state of consciousness? How to remain in the state of thoughtlessness? How to still the mind? How to reduce MTR? Learn the habit of silence. Whenever you can, I often tell you all, every hour, spend 1 minute. I'm not asking out of 60 minutes. I'm saying I want only 1 minute. 60 seconds. How many of you have tried and failed? I tried and failed 100 times. You try to spend 1 minute in silence every hour, you can't, because your mind will not permit you. But you make it a habit. Then I started doing something different. I started singing a song every hour. I told myself, Shanti se mila, kya hasi anand, satya ke chit mein mila, Satchidanand, Shanti se mila. This was silence, because although I was singing a song, my mind was silent. And I kept telling myself, Shanti mein hai jo जीवन जीता, सत्य का चित करता, वो आनंद पाता, शांति में ही तो एहसास ये होता, प्रभु है अंदर, महसूस ये होता, शांति में ही तो प्रभु है मिलता, उनकी जो आवाज शांति में सुनना. 1 minute. 1 minute and it stops all thoughts. 1 minute and it takes you into a state of consciousness. Because the problem is, मन बड़ा है चोर, चैन चुराता है, दुख और चिंता में हमें डुबाता है, मन को है मारना, दुश्मन बड़ा है वो, मन को जो मारे मुक्ति वो पाता. Try to use strategies to reach the state of consciousness. Try to tame the mind. Because with the mind, no enlightenment. With the mind, there is no enlightenment. Enlightenment comes from consciousness. From the consciousness comes the spark of enlightenment. What does the mind do? You know what does the mind do? मन ही खुशियों को चुराता है, दुखी तो मन ही कराता है, खुशियों भरा जग प्रभु का, इसमें इंसान क्यों रोता है. I met a person. I told that person, are you happy? That person said, I'm not so happy. Then I made that person, I said, lift your hands. And I said, no, let's count your blessings. You have this, 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 you have everything. Still you're not happy. Why? No, because I want that. What that you want? That is the mind. You have everything. You have everything. Instead of you counting your blessings, you are seeking something which is stealing your consciousness, stealing your equipoise, stealing your peace. You know what? This is the problem with the mind. The mind is never content. The mind is greedy. The mind wants more and more. God has given us everything. God has given most of us everything. But we don't live in that state of santushti. Santusht means being content, being satisfied. A seeker of enlightenment, he keeps on shuttling between the state of mind and the state of consciousness. But when we are in the state of mind, we suffer. When we are in the state of consciousness, we experience bliss. Because in the state of consciousness, I have told you, we reach the state of Sat, Chit, Anand. People are trying to get pleasure. You may get pleasure. Whatever. You buy a diamond. Oh, I want a diamond. Oh, you want a diamond? And the diamond will give you pleasure for the moment. But Sat, Chit, Anand will give you pleasure forever. Sat, Chit, Anand is not temporary pleasure. It is pleasure, it is bliss, that is eternal happiness. And we need to reach that state of Sat, Chit, Anand. Sat means truth, Chit means consciousness. When there is Sat, Chit, when there is Sat, Chit, there is Ananda. When there is consciousness of the truth. What is the truth? What is the truth, my dear friends? The truth is, तू यहाँ मुसाफिर है, ये सराय पानी है, 4 रोज की महिमा तेरी जिंदगानी, जन जमीन जर जेवर कुछ न साथ जाएगा, खाली हाथ आया है खाली हाथ जाएगा, जान कर भी अनजाना बन रहा है दीवाने, अपने उम्र फानी पर तन रहा है दीवाने, इस कदर तू खोया है इस जहां के मेले में, तू खुदा को भूला है फंस के इस जमेले में, आज तक ये देखा है पाने वाला खोता है, जिंदगी को जो ना समझा जिंदगी पे रोता है, अपने अपने फिक्र में जो भी है वो उलझा है, जिंदगी हकीकत में क्या है कौन समझा है, आज समझ ले, आज समझ ले, कल ये मौका हाथ न तेरे आएगा, वो गफलत की नींद में सोने वाले धोखा खाएगा, चढ़ता सूरज धीरे धीरे ढलता है ढल जाएगा. But where I am today, the Suraj does not dhale. I am in the land of the midnight sun, 24 hours sunlight. But normally the sun will set. Right, my dear friends? This is consciousness. Remaining in that state of consciousness, the mind fools us into believing that we want pleasure. The mind bombards us with thoughts. It becomes the ego. It becomes me. With the ego, it becomes me. I. Who's this I? It's mind only. Actually, a lot of people don't know what is ego. The ego, the ego comes out of the mind. But there's a big, I think René Descartes, was it René Descartes, the psychologists and psychiatrists, many of them, they say, one of them said, I think, therefore I am. And the other said, I am, therefore I think. Now, whether you think because you are, or you are therefore you think, both are wrong. Neither you think you are, you think, both are mithya. Girish will tell, I am from Upanishad, Sunil Chittal will say, I will tell you, neither we think we are, neither we are we think. Tattvamasi, aparoksh anubhuti. When you reach that state, then you escape from the misery on earth. You escape from the cycle of rebirth. You reach that state of enlightenment and consciousness. My dear friends, today we are talking of consciousness, because it is consciousness that leads to being a Jivan Mukta. Yesterday we had a very interesting session, right? Who gets liberation? And we all struggled. And luckily nobody told me, no, sir, 1 or 2 more sessions on the same subject. We can have 3 more sessions on the same subject, but you will not get answer. Who gets liberated? The body? No, the body dies. The mind and ego, it's not there. Then Atmatraya said, no, it is the Jivan. It's the Jivatma. But what happens in Atmatraya? The Jiv Atma gets liberated and becomes the Jivan Mukta. The Jivan Mukta is one who's living in consciousness. The one who's the Sthit Pragya. And unless we kill the mind, we destroy the mind, we cannot reach that state. जीवन मुक्ता वो कौन है, मिथ्य से जो मुक्ति पाता, स्थित प्रज्ञा वो कौन है, सत्य के चित्त में जो जीता, मिथ्या मिथ्या है ये सत्य नहीं है, इसका एहसास वो है करता, सत्य के चित में वो है रहता, आनंदा में वो जीता, सच्चिदानंदा में वो जीता, सत्य के चित में जो रहता, आनंदा में रहता, सच्चिदानंदा हाल है जो, सच के एहसास से होता, आनंदा में रहता, जो सत्य का चित karta. My dear friends, this is the essence. We must choose not to live with the mind, because if we live with the mind, we will suffer. We must choose to live in consciousness and be liberated. It's a choice. Remember, it's a choice. As long as you live as the mind, there will never be enlightenment. Never. If you switch from mind to consciousness, you can attain enlightenment. So today's our topic, I hope my time has come to an end. Today's topic is very simple. Take the mind, make the monkey into a monk, stop all the junk. Stop all the junk and make the monkey into a monk. Move from the state of mind into mindlessness, thoughtlessness. Reach that state of consciousness. And the state of consciousness, there can be contemplation. There can be enlightenment. If you need enlightenment, you want enlightenment, you need consciousness. If you live in mind, you will suffer. Slowly cut the empty hour. Spend time in silence. Important, very important, spending time in silence. What do we get up in the morning? As soon as we wake up, first thing when we wake up in the morning, we take the phone in our hand. Within 10 seconds, the phone is in our hand. Sometimes not even before waking up. Also. Even before waking up, you put your hand, the phone is in your face, then you wake up. So this is our condition. This is the biggest enemy. I call my mobile phone the biggest enemy. That's why I have many phones. I don't have one phone because I don't have a phone. I have different phones for different purposes. So I don't have one phone. So my dear friends, tame the monkey, kill it. Like we said, kill it, bury it, burn it. Don't let it return like a phoenix. Reach that state where there is no mind. When there is no mind, enjoy the state of consciousness. Next week, I'm starting a new book, and the book is called The Realizations of a Yogi. So I will share with you. Next week, I will share with you a new book, because I think many people are looking at the realizations that a yogi should have. So I will be sharing with you next week this topic, the realizations of a yogi. Administrator, let us get on to question answer. Okay, did you miss me or just now you are muted? Okay, any topic that you all like, let us start the discussion. My dear friends.
It's Shivam, Mayor.
Shivam, Gautam, because of you, we had a good discussion yesterday, but you were missing.
I missed the live class, but I never missed the audio on second to see.
Okay, we spoke about who gets. You asked day before yesterday. You asked the question, who gets liberation? Yesterday we spoke 30 minutes on that subject. Tell me, Gautam.
Yeah, I saw the recap again.
Okay, good. Tell me.
I have a doubt that you told that death is certain. It is not because of karma, right? So if a person dies in small age of 30 and a child dies in the age of 10 years, it's due to karma only, no?
When you say due to karma, what do you mean? That is destined as per a law. That will happen at a particular time. But it's not that if you do this karma, you will not die. You do that karma, you will die. There's no direct correlation like that. No doubt, birth, death is all connected to karma. For example, at a particular time, you will die. It might have a connection with karma, but nobody knows.
अच्छा अच्छा अभी
I'm
कोई
not I'm not telling you that death has no connection with karma, but how can we connect it? Okay, so let me now see in spirituality, Gautam, you must look at various options. Now the option is this. Gautam, who will decide your death? Will I decide?
no God.
Will you? Who's God? Where is God? What is God?
We are the God.
No, God is not here to decide your death. God has created the law. There are certain laws. You have got certain amount of time to live. That is not fixed. That suppose Gautam, suppose you say, I am supposed to live for 100 years. How many years, Gautam?
100 years.
Now you go and jump in the Kaveri. What will happen?
Yeah, I'd like.
Then how can you say that it will happen only as per karma?
But then a small child dies in the age of 2 or 3 years. How does the karma work for him?
Karma influences death. There are many, it's beyond. That's why they say, karma ka kanun hai nyari. Karma ka kanun, nobody can understand the law of karma. How, what, where it functions, nobody. Gautam, don't try to define it.
Okay.
Surrender. We should take care of our body. Suppose I'm telling you, today I'm perfectly okay. Today I start taking drugs, I start taking drinks. Every day one bottle Johnny Walker. If I start from today, maybe in 1 week I'll be gone. Something may happen by an accident. That accident may be part of karma, may not be part of karma. So it's very difficult to put this very clearly as to what is the cause of death. No. What is the cause of birth? 100% karma. What is the cause of death? Many people's karma. My karma, your karma, somebody else's karma. The account continues. It depends upon our bhakti, it depends upon our yoga, it depends on so many things. Thank you. Ashok Chotwani.
Thank you, AiR.
Thank you.
Shivam, sir.
Shivam Ashok.
Sir, my question is, why we have great difficulty in overcoming or transiting mind after trying so many times, still we are not successful 100%, sir.
That is a beautiful question. Ashok Chotwani is given a very beautiful question. Why, after so much effort, we keep on trying to control the mind and we cannot control the mind? We all experience this. The mind is doing something. We tell the mind, hey, mind, you mind your business. But the mind is minding our business. The mind does not let us use our power of discrimination, Ashok, because we are not in a state of consciousness. Ashok, the moment we are in a state of consciousness, Ashok, there are no thoughts. The moment there is no thought, Ashok, there is no mind. When there is no mind, then you have already conquered the mind, Ashok.
But mind is disturbing for a few seconds, sir. After consciousness,
correct, because Ashok, if you are in consciousness, when you are in complete consciousness, when you are in complete silence, is the mind there? No. When the mind comes, when you come out of consciousness, then the mind, what the mind does? The mind will catch you and it will drive you like a horse. It will become your boss. It will be a monkey. It will make you a donkey. And the mind is our biggest enemy. You have to kill the mind. In the book I have written, the mind is a rascal. I have written, kill the mind. Otherwise the mind will kill you. Kill the mind. Otherwise the mind will kill you. You have got to kill the mind. It's very important. If you don't kill the mind, Ashok, the end, we can do nothing.
But we are trying our best at possible, sir.
You are not trying enough.
We are
I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question.
Okay.
Are you spending every 1 hour, 1 minute silence? Every 1 hour. Every.
But half of an hour, 2 times.
No, every hour. I'm asking every hour 1 or 2 minutes silence.
No, sir. Sometimes I'm doing, but I should make it a habit, sir.
Who's stopping you from making habit?
That is mind, sir.
So how will you overcome the mind?
No, I will follow the system, sir.
So remember this. You think I don't have mind troubling me? Oh, my mind troubles me more than consciousness. When you are in consciousness, Ashok Chotwani, there is no mind. You agree?
Yeah, I agree, sir.
The man who's in Ashok Chotwani, the man who's in consciousness all the time, what is he?
Yeah, he is free from mind. Yeah.
A man who's in consciousness all the time, what is he?
He is a yogi, sir.
He's enlightened.
Enlightened, yeah.
योगी जो योग में सदा ही रहे, प्रभु के योग में रहे. Suppose you are in prema yoga, and the moment the prema yoga becomes prema bhoga, gone. The yogi becomes a bhogi. How can you remain a yogi? How can you be in that state of yoga? How can you be in a state of consciousness? How can you be in Sat Chit Ananda? When there is no Sat Chit, huh?
Always in consciousness, sir. We should live it always in consciousness.
Yeah, but the mind is not letting na.
Yeah.
That's why you cut the tail. EY, ever yelling, ever yearning. When there is no yearning. Huh?
You are blessing, we will cut the tail also, sir.
See, okay, let me explain to you. I used to tell every day what food I want to eat. So I will tell tomorrow morning you give me masala dosa with red chutney and nice aloo. Then next day they tell what you want. I want nice paniyaram with mock meat gravy. Then I called my people and I blasted them. I said, Besharam Battamis, tum Besharam, tum Battamis log. Why you are asking me what to eat? Shut up. You go decide. You give me something to eat. I don't want to know what to eat. You order. I will not carry money. The moment you carry money, what happens? Immediately you're in mind state. How much money you gave, how much returned, how much tip, how much bill, what is the total? So you try to cut away from the state of mind. And you try to be in a state of consciousness.
We should not have craving for anything, sir.
Why?
Because we want peace of mind, sir.
Why you should not have craving for anything?
Because we want to be enlightened, sir.
Why you should want to be enlightened? Why you should not have craving for anything?
No, the purpose of our life is to become getting mukti.
Because if you want something also, nothing is yours. You will leave everything behind.
Yeah, it is true, sir.
Then what is the use of wanting something?
Some
people are wearing glasses. Huh? Sunil Chittal will tell you, you're also wearing glasses. They are going to buy Calvin Klein, Gucci, Louis Vuitton. They want to buy branded glasses. Some people, they are more worried about the brand on their car because what other people will think what car they are driving. Is it matters what other people think what car you are driving? The ladies are very, very concerned whether their bag is Louis Vuitton bag or not. Because Louis Vuitton bag is what the world will think I'm a big lady. Hum bakwas mein atke hai. We are caught in, our real happiness comes from Sat Chit Anand. That we don't have. We are chasing, sorry to say, Ashok Chotwani, we are chasing rubbish. And our life will end up in rubbish. We can be in Sat Chit Anand and we can be in divine bliss. We can be in Ananda. This is my goal, just to be in Ananda. Just to be in Ananda. Thank you. Bliko and Rohit. Bliko.
Shivam.
Shivam, sir.
My question is, when we are concentrating on some work or when we are working, so at that time, we have to use our mind to focus on some certain things, right?
No.
Or what?
You have to use consciousness.
How to use that one?
So tell me an example.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. You tell me an example and I'll give the answer. Give me an example what you're working and you need your mind and I will give the answer.
Okay. Right now, we are on the call, right? So I am taking note also and I'm looking at around the place and sometimes the noise comes from background. I will see what is going on. And when I again come back and concentrate on what is going on and what you are telling and what my mind is thinking, sometimes there is a mismatch and you go into some different direction and you don't listen what is said. So at that time, you have to keep your mind on focus on one particular point, right?
No, but just now your question you asked and what you are speaking to me, your mind just now got distracted. So come back to your question. You're just now
Yeah.
you have an
My
example.
question, yeah, correct.
That you
So my
lost
question is,
consciousness
when we
because
are
your mind
working,
went away.
yes,
What is? Give me an example of work. There's nothing private about work. Tell me one. You're printing something. You're
like
writing.
I'm painting,
So I'm.
I'm painting the fence. Like, let's say, yesterday I was doing
You're
so,
printing
painting
what?
the fence,
Fence.
fence.
Fence. So when you're
Yeah.
printing the fence, when you're painting the fence, like when I'm talking to you, do you think my consciousness is 100% with you, or you think my consciousness is 99%?
Like 100%.
Even I forget to drink my coffee.
Right.
And my concentration with my consciousness is so much with you that I'm completely cued on. So when I get back to consciousness, I say, oh, I have to have coffee. My point to you, you don't need mind, Bliko. Mind means bundle of thoughts. When you are working, you just work with your intellect and your consciousness with one thought. And then one thought goes, you take another thought. If you're painting the fence, you need only one thought. Painting the fence, painting the fence, painting the fence. And maximum what you can do when you're painting the fence, you must say to yourself, पेंट में प्रभु है फेंस में भी वही है हाथे प्रभु है शक्ति भी वही है पेंटिंग प्रभु करता कुछ ना करता मैं सब कुछ वही है सब कुछ वही है. Now how did I do painting? And I sang a song, but my concentration was just on Prabhu. You get the idea, Bliko? This needs consciousness.
Correct.
The
In
mind will
English,
slip away. Bliko, mind will, the moment you're painting the fence, the mind will tell you, Are, the paint I bought for an extra tin, I forgot in the car. Are, the mind will go there. Then the mind will tell, Are, the car I forgot to lock. Where is the key? Are, then you will shout, Madam, chabi lao. And then what happened to painting of the fence? Painting of the fence you forgot. Next day you will say, painting of fence I forgot to do because I went to the car. When I sat in the car, I got a call. I had to go to office. I went to office, painting of that. This is what happens in life, right?
correct.
Yes.
So my question is like, we have to allow only one thought at that time. At that time when we are doing the job.
Correct. It is not practically possible to allow one thought, but you must stop. You must stop the barrage of thoughts. You must stop the thoughts from attacking you. You must put the intellect in charge. You must let thought come like fish swimming into the ocean of consciousness. Consciousness is awareness. Mr. Bliko, you must become aware, awake, witness, observer. Telling is very easy. Can you do it? If you can do it, then you are already, then you already reached Jivan Mukta state. Can you do it? You can't do it. Why you can't do it? Because of Mr. Mind, monkey mind. Monkey mind, monkey mind comes and sits on your head and plays tabla on your head. Even the most intelligent person in the world, you may be LLB, PhD, MA, BA, whatever, maybe the most intelligent person who has all the knowledge in the world. Kuch nahi chalta hai. Keep all your degrees in your house. Mind comes in charge means you're gone. Finished. Be in consciousness, you will do the right things. You're doing the wrong things. Why are you doing the wrong things? You're doing the wrong things because mind is telling you da 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 da. Huh? Foolish mistake. Foolish mistake. One lady, she had one dog for 10 years. The dog had given her 4 bites. After having dog for 10 years, she's telling me she's getting another dog. So I told her, already 1 dog and 4 bites. Why you want 1 more dog? I like dogs now. So, क्या मतलब है? You already have got experience of the dog biting you 4 times. I have dogs. No, dog has not bit me for 10 years. Your dog has bit you for 4 times. Maybe you're not meant to have dogs. So then don't have it. No, I want 1 more dog. No, then you get 1 more. I don't get 1. Please get 2. Then you'll have 3. Okay. Next question. Rohit and then Yogini. Rohit. Yogini. Till Rohit comes. Yogini. Show him, Yogini.
why do we judge people so? After knowing that it is not our business, we should not involve ourselves into this. Still, when we are in the group, we keep judging one another. Why do we do this?
We judge because of the me, the mind and the ego. In the moment you know we are all one, if we know that we are all one, then why will you judge? Will the right hand judge the left hand? I don't think the right hand is judging the left hand. The right eye is judging the left eye. Hello, Mr. I. Mr. I, are you looking properly? Left eye says, oh, okay, you better see properly, Mr. Right eye. Right eye says, okay, I'm fine. What about left eye? No, the left eye and the right eye are not judging each other because we are one. When the realization liberates us. The realization liberates us and makes us free. The challenge is to be in that state of freedom, yogini. What is the meaning of yogini? What is the meaning of yoga? Yoga is so divinely connected, so there is no bhoga. We keep on judging because we are looking at, why should we? What I'm asking, what is our business?
Yeah, that's what. It is not my business to judge.
Yeah.
I do come back, but again, I'm slipping off in that.
So
It
you
is
have to
not
tell
right.
yourself, stop it, stupid. Tell yourself, stop it, stupid. Stupid. Why you are judging, stupid? Take the book. The book is getting printed next week. Please take the book. Stop it, stupid. Because I'll tell you something. We are all stupid. Don't think only you and me are stupid. Everybody is stupid. We all have to overcome stupidity.
So this is also one thing which stops us from getting enlightenment, right? Because others' thoughts are coming into us. We are
if you are in
talking
state
from
of consciousness, if you are in state of consciousness, will you still be judging people?
No, that's what. When I have to be in state of consciousness all the time.
So work on that now.
Yeah.
Our goal is one. Let us work. Why do I run away from Bangalore? Some of you wonder, this man AiR is a little mad. Every time he's in this land, that land, this land, that land, which land, we don't know which land he is in. Yeah, because I run away. I am there for 1 or 2 days in my office. After 1 or 2 days, I say, tata, goodbye. Where you're going? Doesn't matter where I'm going. Sometimes I don't know where I'm going. I'm going to airport, but I don't know where I'm going. But I'm not going. But I know I'm not in the office. Because the moment I'm in the office, I lose my consciousness. Because people attack me. Not one mind, 100 minds attack me. See behind me, how anybody's mind is there behind me? Have you seen anybody passing? Last 1 hour, anybody passing? I go to places of nothingness. Shanti. जग के शोर में जो सदा जीता शांति में वो भी ना सदा रहता. We have to cut the shore. We have to cut the shore, the noise. Then only we can hear the divine voice. Okay, Rohit, you still want to speak, Rohit?
Yes, am I audible now?
You are very well, very audible.
Yeah. So, Guruji, I want to know what is the relation.
Nose, you breathe through
No.
your nose, you smell through. No, I'm just giving an analogy. You breathe through your nose, you smell through your nose,
Okay.
you hear through your ears. Mind is mind. What is mind, Rohit? Mind is nothing but a bundle of thoughts. Then you're clear about it? If there is no,
Yeah,
if there
what
are no thoughts,
people say
if there are
is
no
that
thoughts,
when you stop your breath, there
Huh.
will be almost no thoughts
Okay.
if there is no
Now I
breath.
get. Now I get your point. Now I get where you're coming from. Now the reason they say to concentrate on your breath is because when your attention is on your breath, imagine as I'm talking to you now, I'm stopping my breath. If my attention is on my breath, I'm not capable of thinking. I can't think. And therefore, there's no mind.
Yes.
Therefore, there's no mind. But
Yes.
my dear Rohit, my dearest Rohit, is it practical to stop our breath? How much time will stop your breath, Rohit?
No.
Therefore, what do people say, Rohit? They say, don't stop your breath. They say, keep your attention on your breath. Naak se, left nose, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. After 5 times of breathing in, breathing out, you're already in California and Los Angeles and San Francisco. Because the mind is already wandering now.
Yes.
So I hope I gave you the connection. Breath is something you can't control, Rohit. Even if you're sleeping, breath will continue. Right or wrong?
Yes.
Can you control breath? You can't control breath. But
No.
can you control mind? Yes, you can control mind. By being in a state of consciousness, you can control mind. Then there is no mind. I hope I gave the first answer. Second question.
Yeah. Second question is how to be in the present moment.
How
Present
to
moment.
be
Yeah.
how to be in the present moment. Being in the present moment is again being in consciousness. People learn to what they do living in day-tight compartments. You shut the door against the past and you shut the door against the future. The past is gone. The future is not yet born. It needs make it a habit. See what will happen, Rohit? The mind has this habit. Have you seen a dog's tail? A dog's tail, have you seen? The dog's tail is supposed to be something in Hindi and Kannada. In our local language, they say, Nai bala donko. Kutte ka dum. Kutte ki dum. It keeps on going round. Mind is like that. As soon as your mind is a little bit, you're free, the mind will tell Rohit, but yesterday that fellow told like this, straight away your mind is gone to yesterday. It's past, it's gone. Then it will jump to tomorrow. What tomorrow if they are telling them no, now Omicron is over. Now Comtacron is coming. What is this Comtacron? Somebody told Comtacron, new virus is coming tomorrow. Let it come, Rohit. Then we will talk. Why we are talking of Comtacron now? Comtacron is not yet come. Why we are talking? There is no Comtacron. It just came to my mind. Don't go Google Comtacron. There is no Comtacron. So don't make it a habit not to jump into yesterday and tomorrow. Make it a habit. Live life moment by moment. Make a vow to be happy in the now. Now. You may be the richest man in the world. Can you have two now moments together? Because now, it's now. Try to be in the now. The moment you go yesterday, you go tomorrow, come back to consciousness. CB, come back. CBTC, is it? We said we have got to come back to yoga, come back to consciousness, come back to consciousness. Last question of yours, Rohit.
Do we have a free will?
Of course. You can right now shut off this Zoom call and go out. You can say, get out. I don't believe in your nonsense. It's a free will. You have a free will to do what you want to do. Right or wrong? So, Rohit, if you want to understand the free will method, let me explain to you, right? You're driving a car.
Yeah.
When you're driving a car, do you have free will to go left or right, to go forward or backward? You have free will or no? Rohit?
So your voice is not, or your voice is breaking, so I'm not
Okay.
able
I'm
to
asking
hear.
you, when you're driving a car, can you go forward and backward? Can you go left and right? You have free will to go left and right or no?
Yes.
But do you have the free will of changing the road?
Yes.
No, you can't change the road. The road is already laid. You can't change the road.
I mean, I thought if there are two roads, I can change. I can opt for the road, which road I want.
Suppose you're in the car and the car is standing on a road. Can you change the road?
No.
But can you go left and right?
Yes.
That left and right is a free will. But the road that is already laid is your past karma. Your past karma is creating the road. You can't change the road. The road is already laid. But you have a free will of going forward or backward, left or right, fast or slow. That is free will.
So when we are saying, like we got that analogy of painting the fence, where
Yes.
we were singing the song, that I who's painting is actually the God who's painting is what we should. Yeah. So in that case, whether I'm taking a left or a right on the road, is it God's will or?
When you realize it's God's will, then you will live a life of surrender and acceptance. That's a different state of a Jivan Mukta. When you reach that state, then it hardly matters whether you take left or right. You will take something, right? You will go left or right because you can't block the road. If you block the road, police will come and lift your car out of the road. So the point is that we have to reach that state of realization. This state of realization is, you understand Hindi, Rohit?
Yes. Ha.
So in Hindi, they say, सच को कोई ना जानता, ये अपरोक्ष अनुभूति है, इसका कोई सबूत ना, सच का एहसास होना है, प्रभु तो है हर जगह, वो हमें ना दिखते हैं, उनके बिन तो कुछ भी ना, वो है तो हम सब हैं. You reach this anubhuti. Then life is a bliss. When you reach the anubhuti, then you and me are not separate. We are one. Just telling we are one doesn't work. Some people will just say we are one. That in words. In words, if you say we are one, do we become one? No. That is just a joke. It's just a joke.
Yeah.
So when we are one, then you must behave like that. You must behave like we are one. So, my dear Rohit, when you realize Prabhu is everywhere, everything is Prabhu, Jagat Mithya, Prabhu Satya, then what matters in this world? Nothing matters. You live in a state of Ananda. There is no misery. If your stomach is paining, if the stomach pain doesn't trouble you, because only stomach is paining, you are fine. But if your stomach pain troubles you so badly, that means you are still the stomach. But if the stomach pain is troubling you and your mind is going away into some other good work of God, then your stomach pain disappears. You lose your mind. You lose your pain. Next question. Let's go ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? We are reaching the end of the session. Mind and consciousness. Anybody wants to ask anything? Administrator, any questions on the typing?
Arpit is asking a question.
Arpit, yes.
How to control our hypothesis, negative thoughts which occur in our mind?
Sorry.
Yeah, because the negative thoughts coming in your mind is basically negative now. The mind is basically negative. And the moment there is the mind, then you are in trouble. The moment you are in consciousness, the problem is solved. The problem is, the ability is to be in a state of consciousness. We have to be in that state of consciousness. That is the solution. Anything else, Administrator? Negative thoughts, if you want to stop. I've written a book when I was not AiR. I wrote 10 books when I was not AiR for information. I've disposed of all those books. Don't ask me for those books. I've thrown away those books. But one of the books is interesting, and I hope to write it again. It's called Flipping Over from NEP to PEP. You flip over from negative energy that is poison to positive energy that is power. Because the mind is a thought factory. It will produce thoughts based on the raw material. The raw material is emotions. You control the mind by controlling the raw material. If you feed your mind with negative emotions like fear, hate, worry, anxiety, stress, depression, pessimism, doubt, what kind of thought will come? Obviously, toxic thoughts. But if you fill your mind with pep, positive energy, power, with optimism, love, hope, enthusiasm, happiness, courage, confidence, then you are feeding your mind with positive raw material. Your thoughts will be positive. In this world, actually, before becoming AiR, I read about 100 books on positive thinking. Everybody says, hey, think positive. Hey, think positive, man. Think, arey kaisa? How to think positive? You can't think positive, but you can choose positive emotions. Whenever you are trying to feel, whenever there is hate coming in your life, you flip it over to love. Whenever you feel sad, you flip it over to being glad. Whenever there is fear, you flip it over to courage. You flip from one emotion to another emotion. Next, do we have any question before I close? Because we are reaching the end. Last question, if anybody. One last question.
Kishan has a question.
Yes.
Says, breath and mind have a close connection. If the flow of breath is erratic, the thoughts are erratic. If the breath is slow, smooth, long, and deep, then the mind is also the same. Have you ever seen when you are stressed, your breath is rapid, and that's why they ask you to take a deep breath when you are nervous?
Yes, you are right. there are some connections between the mind and the breath. We spoke about it, but that connection is momentary. That connection, the moment your mind is stressed, your breath will be fast. The moment your mind, it has also got to do with the hormones of the body. It is not just the breath, it's also got to do with the hormones of the body. And there is no doubt that the whole body is connected, right? Suppose, for example, some doctors, they tell you, you don't have a stomach infection because of what you ate, but because what is eating you. Sometimes you don't have a problem with what you eat, but rather what is eating you. But sometimes it's not what is eating you, it's only what you eat. You ate some rubbish mushrooms, and those mushrooms, or you went and had some, even Buddha ate some red meat and he became sick and died. The big story on that is a big story that Buddha went to a place and the guest, his host, gave him some red meat to eat. Of course, some people change it and say it's not red meat, it was some wild mushroom. I'm not getting to what happened 2000 years ago. But there are connections to the question of Kishan. There are some connections between mind and breath. But let me ask you a question. You be in consciousness, breath also will be fine, mind also will be fine. Why are you complicating? Be in consciousness. Just chant the word Oh. Your breath will be fine. Your consciousness will be fine. If you have nothing else to do, Kishan, just say Shivoham, 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 Shivoham. What's the meaning? Shivoham. Shivoham means I am not I am nothing. Oh Prabhu, you are everything. Shivaham, Shivoham, which means I am nothing. Oh Lord, you are everything. Yes, Administrator, was there a follow-up question?
Kishan had one more question. What is the difference between consciousness and awareness?
Just like the difference between water and pani.
Same thing.
Water and pani. What is the difference? Water and pani? Two different words for the same thing. Awareness is consciousness. Consciousness is awareness. But it's not that whenever you are aware, you are conscious. You may be aware, but the mind is wandering. But consciousness is when there is no mind. So, but both are very similar. Both are in the same direction. Because when they are conscious, you have awareness. But everybody who has awareness doesn't have consciousness. Because, I am aware. I am aware. What are you aware about? I am aware about that girl is wearing a beautiful earring. No? The round earring dropping like that. I'm just watching. I'm aware. I'm aware about that girl's earring. But are you conscious? Are you in consciousness? No. You're only aware. What are you aware? Yesterday she wore black. The day before yesterday she wore blue. Then the previous day she wore green. That awareness doesn't matter. What awareness you're talking about? You need to be in conscious. That state of consciousness. My dear friends, every week we go through 6 days of Ask AiR at 8 and then one day of this session at 7:30. And every week, because of your blessings, I learn something. I learn from your questions. Each week, every day is a day of learning for me from all you gurus, my yogis, my friends who are on this call. And I bow down to you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 8.